So this is a quick video on how to grow sweet potato slips and develop root systems quickly. I've looked at a bunch of different videos and I've taken all the pluses and minuses from those videos and put them into one. So remember that when you're buying sweet potatoes from the store, that you buy organic because they don't have inhibitors sprayed on them, and the inhibitor stops the sprouts from coming up. So buy organic. Number two is, when you bring your sweet potato home, do not get a container of water and put the sweet potato in with a bunch of toothpicks to hold it up. And then leave it in the water, because I found that they actually, over a period of time, the sweet potato will actually rot in the water even though you're changing it. So it just was a real messy way. So for one other video, they suggested getting a flat container, something you can put potting soil in and keep it moist, and then you cut your sweet potato in half and you put your sweet potato in the soil itself. That is very helpful because it stops the sweet potato from actually getting and rotting out. Now this one's pretty good. This one is a little bit mushy underneath, even though it's been in moist soil versus wet water. So that's a big clue at the beginning. Then, once the sweet potato produces its slip, do not cut the slip off the sweet potato. So this is an example of a sweet potato where the slip has been cut off, and you can see that there are some roots developing at the bottom of the slip itself. But unfortunately, this has been in the water for 7 days. This is a long time. And the reason why it's not developing roots very quickly is a very simple fact that it's been cut off from the sweet potato. If you leave the sweet potato on, the slip on the sweet potato, it'll still get its energy from the potato. It'll continue to grow in length, and the potato will actually supply energy to produce a root system. So this root system here is approximately 3 days old. So here's another example of a root system that's about 3 days old. That's pretty crazy for 3 days. I can imagine in a week they're going to be, 3 times the length that they are. So that's the next part, is developing a good root system. And what you do is you take the sweet potato, find a container of water, which you can then submerge the slip, the whole potato and the slip in, and make sure that the slip is actually, an inch or two below the water surface. So it's down in the water. Sometimes you have to weigh it down with a little rock or something to keep it under, not from floating. And that's how you develop the root system quickly, is by actually taking the whole sweet potato and putting it into water itself. And this is a root system that developed off of the potato while it was sitting in the soil too. So it's really healthy if you leave it on. Now, once you're ready to plant and it's got a fairly good root system, you then just break the sweet potato slip off of the plant itself. The roots are all on the slip, so they're ready to go. And always suggest that you lie them slightly on an angle when you plant them in the soil, and dig a little bit of an area out where you can put the potato in, put it in. And as the slip grows longer and longer and longer, you can then hill up the area around the sweet potato, because that's where the sweet potatoes are produced, is in the root system. So the longer root system you have, if you hill it up and get a little bit longer, you can produce more sweet potatoes. So there you go. There's some hints. Have fun.